They made a Barbie movie and it's really good. And I don't know. If you gave me 100 years, if I had bet all the money I had, I would have lost because this movie is a lot better than it has any right to be. And that speaks to the team of Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig. It speaks to the acting capabilities of Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and everybody else involved here. This movie was really good, and this is coming from an anti-Barbie fan, guys. I grew up very tomboyish. My thing was always the guy toys, and Barbie. I did have a Barbie. I got one as a gift. But I was so against it. I packed her in a corner and I wouldn't touch her for a long while. It turns out she wasn't that bad because she could actually swim and stuff. But anyways, this movie, there's a lot more positives to this movie than the negatives. And one thing I always say about filmmaking in general, I can forgive a lot of flaws if I can see the love and the passion and the hard work up there on the screen. And I saw that in this movie. I saw where every effort was made to not only give reverence to Barbie, but also address the issues that Barbie has presented, through her very existence over the years. And they touch on all these things in really funny, smart, heartfelt ways. And for the most part, all of it worked. Now, first of all, Margot Robbie absolutely kills it as Barbie. It's not just the fact that she's a gorgeous woman, it's not just that. Margot Robbie has shown us in the past, like with Harley Quinn, that she has the ability to take these out of the box characters and make them very relatable. You can connect with them as fantastical as they are, and she does that really, really well here. Every time she had these heavy emotional moments, I found myself choking up, and it's that's not me. I promise you, that's not me. And then we have Ryan Gosling here as one of the Kens, and he's just stealing every single scene he's in. I mean, come on, I Am Ken. It has to be the best, most ridiculous song I've heard in ages. Simu Liu, all of them, Kingsley, he's now in Secret Invasion. I'm sorry, I cannot remember his last name. All of these people come together to make such a wonderful movie. Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie. I mean, come on. If anybody who's ever played with Barbies know, if you play with them too hard and too much, they do this splits thing that you cannot fix. And these little touches like that, the set design of this movie, choosing to go the practical route and build sets the way kids would have these playhouses and these sets for their dolls. It's wonderful. It's so smart. Michael Cera as Alan had me in absolute stitches, Although Alan seemed a little more self-aware of where he was than you would expect him to be, I don't know if that's a plot hole, but anyway. All of that works, guys. The music, the humor lands 9 times out of 10, the big bombastic battle between the Kens is as ridiculous as it sounds, and all of that works. The movie pokes such fun at itself and yet is so reverent to the core, to the characters Barbie and Ken, and of course there are heavier elements here. He touches on things like the patriarchy and all that stuff. And I'm sure there are people here who's going to say this movie is anti-men and all that. No, listen, if you pay attention, this movie is not that. This movie, yes, there are moments that I'm sure some people might take as preachy. I didn't. America Ferrera's character has this really standout monologue that's there, and maybe some people say it's overly preachy. I, for one, thought it worked. We see where Ryan Gosling, as he can, has his own arc, and it's a really solid arc, about how ridiculous that whole toxic masculinity thing is. And this movie is just so smart in the way it addresses both, because the movie is not picking on anyone in particular, and anyone who thinks that you're missing the point. Granted, this movie is not perfect. What didn't work for me was definitely the moments that happen in the real world. They were necessary, of course, to drive the story, but Barbie Land, and it later becomes Kendom, of course. that's what I wanted more of. The real world stuff, it's very matrixy, and I didn't mind that at all. And yet it's just I don't know, it kind of didn't grind things to a halt, but it definitely slowed the pacing down in terms of the action and the beats and everything like that, you know. Will Ferrell, I love Will Ferrell. I think he's hilarious in almost everything he's in. And yet here we got him. He was basically doing a live action version of his character from the Lego movie. And it's not that he isn't funny, it's that he isn't as funny, and as you know, I wanted a little bit more. I don't know what that more was, but I wanted a little bit more. But guys, you know what? Overall, I could forgive the flaws of this movie because I see so much love up there on this screen. I see the hard work. I see the genuine attention to detail that was paid to the writing, to the creation of these characters, to the story that they were trying to tell. I was really, really impressed by this movie, and it's definitely a fun palate cleanser after seeing the heavier Oppenheimer, you know. So listen, guy or gal or other, whatever, check this movie out. If you love movies, especially if you're burnt out on the same old that we've been getting for the past few years now, the sequels and the franchise stuff, and just the same old everything, you should give support to movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? Because this is originality. This is what I want. I want to see something fresh. I want to see something different. I want to see something new that I haven't seen before. Something that when you go in there, you have no real idea of what to expect. This movie delivers all of that in spades. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you do too. And what else is there to say? But I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.